Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Y'all like the content I've been dropping, direction that my channel was headed in, I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with anybody else you think may benefit from them, alright? Now, today's topic is a little bit of a random amalgamation of thoughts I've just been having, So I guess the main title that I will put is that you're the architect. You are the architect. All right. And what I mean when I say that is like life is for the living. Okay. And nobody can dictate how your life should go other than you at the end of the day. We all have ways that we were growing up, right? Parents that expect things, friends that expect things. You go on to get into a relationship, and then your spouse might expect things from you. If you go to college, you might have a friend group that are all going in a certain branch so that they can start their careers. And then you find yourself feeling influenced by their decision to maybe study financial management or go into business or this, that, and the third. And the main person who actually is able to craft something that you'll be satisfied with is yourself. Okay. And we're in a time that I notice so many people are just detached from their own destiny because they're distracted or they just don't have the willpower to look within in order to determine how life should play out for them. And I find it to be really sad if I'm just being honest, but this video is for people who maybe are facing that existential crisis at points in their mind, knowing that, hey, there's a purpose that I'm here and I'm supposed to fulfill. And until I actually figure out what that is and I pour all of my heart and soul into it, I'm going to feel empty. I'm going to notice that the job that I go to every single day isn't really making me feel like life is worth it. We all have these obligations that we're taking care of, You have a family, then you're thinking about how you can raise your kids in the best situation, put them in the best school, and finance everything that will sustain them over time. All right, you're in a relationship, you're thinking about your partner, and maybe you throw your dreams into the background just so that you and your partner can focus on what's in front of you. Like I said, you have all these obligations to other people, but the main person who is going to suffer is you, because you are the architect. Okay? You are the author of your own book. You are the director, main character, screenwriter, and every role within the film of your own life. And I'm making this video to charge everybody who's watching to get in tune with your inner self and determine what is it that I actually want from life. What is my purpose? What's my calling? What's something that I do constantly without even receiving monetary benefit from it? And I could see myself doing it over time with or without the money. What makes me feel like time is flying by? We all have stuff that we're good at. Take, for example, the person who is really good at drawing. And then at some point they start studying, going to college, this, that, and the third. And maybe they find themselves, I don't know, working as a CFO for some company because they actually were pretty good at finance. But what actually tickles their fancy is to draw extensively, and whenever they actually grab a sketch pad, they find themselves doing some of the coolest designs, or where someone could look over the shoulder and go, damn, you drew that? And then the person is usually humble, like, it's not a big deal, I'm just messing around. But it's like you just messing around could actually be something that launches into a business, or that's something that actually is telling you, if you're good at it and God gave you the gift, to not use it is somewhat blasphemous to God. It's like why did I give you the gift if you're not going to actually utilize it and make something of it? So this video goes out to anybody who is dealing with this existential crisis, because I know that's exactly what I am doing right now. Um, you know, I've made videos talking about how I want to be financially free. Okay. Not getting into specifics, but I noticed that as I see that I'm headed towards that goal, let's say I have a certain sum. As I get closer and closer to that sum, I start to realize money is not really going to fulfill me. Of course, I want to have it. I think we all could agree that having more money will set you up in more ways than one. For one, you don't have to think about bills or, I just went on a cruise in the States and flew on all these planes and rented these cars and had a good time and was able to get nice hotel rooms where my wife and I could chill and kick it and relax. That felt good, having the security of swiping my card, one of the few that I have, and knowing that it's as good as paid already. I'm not going to swipe my card and then when it's time to actually look at my statement balance, have sweat coming from my forehead thinking, fuck, how am I going to pay this? Like, I already have everything lined out. So financially, I'm in a very good spot. But what I realize is there is no sum of money that will quell that inner, I guess, push for me to do something else, for me to figure out my purpose. I think that's the only way that you could really have true fulfillment outside of like having a child. And then let's say you become a father or a mother. If you're a woman watching this channel, you have kids, and then now you have a different role that you can never foresee how that will, let's say, change your life. That's what many people tell me who have kids, like, oh, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, this, that, and the third. But I still feel that your purpose is the one thing that no one else can give that to you. It comes from inside. And if you're able to cut out all the distractions, get in tune with yourself and ask these groundbreaking questions, what am I good at? What's a hobby that I love doing that for whatever reason I push it to the back? When you can actually kind of go through this series of questions and figure out this is what I want to do, it's like you actually now have an energy boost because there's something that came from within that you can now manifest outwardly, and it can benefit the rest of the world because you have a unique talent. It doesn't matter if other people have the same talent or whatever. You were given that talent for a reason. Your spin will always be different than someone else's spin. So I'm saying that to you just like I'm saying it to my own self in this video. Like, what I've come to realize, like, back to the money. Even if you, let's say, I had a goal of, I want to make $1 million. But what I realized is, even if I woke up tomorrow and the million was on my account, I'd still have to soul search about my next moves regarding my purpose. I'd have the million. I'd feel comfortable knowing, oh man, basically my life is secure. But we all know that the most depressing life would be one where you're just solipsistic and all you care about is the next high, the next dopamine hit, laying around, lounging. That's why people who retire, that's when they usually have all these issues health-wise. They worked 45 years straight, taking care of their family, this, that. They had a place to be at a certain time, and they had people that counted on them for something. So they had some type of role that kept them engaged, right? Of course, they complained here and there when it was, Thursday, and they were already burnt out thinking, man, I can't wait till the weekend. But that same person who now is retired and finds himself without a phone call telling them to get on the Zoom call in the meeting, that doesn't have customers blowing up their phone or doesn't have orders that they have to fulfill for whatever company they work for. Now that they're retired and they have nothing to do and their schedule is just wide open from Monday through Sunday, that's when they actually start getting depressed or having health complications because there's nothing that's keeping them engaged. Like, life is for the living, right? A body in motion tends to stay in motion. This is physics that we're talking about here. Like, a person who gets up and has some type of agenda for the day is usually going to be able to sleep comfortably at night, uninterrupted usually, compared to the person who just wakes up aimless and doesn't really have an objective that they want to complete. We all know that, right? So if if I had all the money that I'm actually aiming for and it was on my account tomorrow, I would still have to do the soul search. You see what I mean? And I think Nike has the best mantra of all time. Even though it's so simple, it's very profound. Just do it. Just do it. The dude who wants to learn how to play guitar, but then here it is 10 years later and you ask him, yo, you play guitar? Oh man, I just don't have time. Just do it. What you mean you don't have time? Me, in my case, thinking about the next major step. How many times am I gonna go work for another company? How many times am I gonna submit a resume, go through the whole interview screening, answer all these questions about what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, come into a new environment, and then blaze a trail and become one of the best ones? Like I've done it every single time I've worked. Literally everywhere I've worked, I've always found myself rising to the top. And it wasn't through just the work ethic. It was more through the intangibles about my own character, the way that I come into the team or onto the job looking like I'm ready to go, with my haircut, with my face shaven like how it is right now, or my beard lined up, or coming in with a good energy, coming in with so much game and knowledge that I've not only taken from books, but also that I've gained from being on so many different jobs. I bring all of that and then and put it into my role. Even if you gave me a fucking toilet brush and told me to clean the restroom inside of a business or a hotel, that would be the cleanest restroom you ever saw, because I would take pride in the fact that they counted on me to do it. I don't give a fuck what I got to do. I'm always going to be a person who wants to do it to the highest degree. So it's like every finger is now pointing, or every sign that the universe could give me is now telling me that it's time for me to launch my own shit. It's time for me to go into my own business. Why am I over here giving my blood, sweat, and tears to companies that if I were to leave tomorrow, which I've already proven since I jumped so many jobs, when I leave tomorrow, they already got somebody else in the pipeline to take my spot. Now, whether they're as good as me, that's a whole nother topic. Who gives a flying fuck? I'm not the one who has to count on that. They have to hire someone to fill my spot. But will the company that I work for, let's say 3 years straight, when I leave, will the company go under because I'm not there? Of course not. It's a pipeline full of people. HR keeps people coming through, submitting resumes. They got 800 resumes. They over here cycling through, taking the top 10 and being like, hey, if he quits, we got already 3 interviews lined up for next Friday. So I say all that to say this. You're the architect of your own life, just like I'm the architect of my own life. And if at any point I don't like how something is going, or I don't like the trajectory that I'm on, it's up to me, or it's up to you to pull the ripcord and execute a different game plan. And remember what Nike said, just do it. You have everything you need within inside of you. Just like I have everything that I need within inside of me. And my dreams be so big, my aims, the goals that I'm going after, they're so big that I feel fear, right? But let's unpack that real quick. What is fear? It's false evidence appearing real. So I let the feelings go through my psyche. I talk to my wife about how I feel, but I let my rationale come back into the forefront to calm me down, knowing that I want things that are so major that it's somewhere good I feel fear, because I'm going for something that I'm unsure about how I'm going to conquer it. I'm not taking on a challenge that I know I'll be able to do. I'm taking on a challenge that's so monumental and nobody has a blueprint for me except for great books. You see what I'm saying? Or people that I've seen that have gone from this point in 2021 and now they're at this point in 2025, and now they have gems of wisdom that I could actually pull from and apply it. But it's still going to be my individual journey. I still have the mountain to climb. I mean, I could look at the people that climbed up there and feel motivated when they yell, watch out for this or watch out for that. But it's still up to me to climb, feel the sweat, feel the pain, feel the burn in my muscle, right? Feel the fear and that pang of, oh shit, I could die, death whispering in my ear when I reach up and a rock slip. I have to go through that, right? So that's exactly what I got to go through when it's time for me to start my own business, or decide that I want to set up camp in a different country than, let's say, Germany or the US. You know what I mean? Like that thrill, that fear, that pang of worry or anxiety, doubt. You have to feel that, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop and sit in your comfort zone. All right, your comfort zone is literally death by 1,000 paper cuts. You're just bleeding out slowly but surely, and your life is not being actualized. That's why the person who is in that situation tends to maybe suffer from analysis paralysis, thinking over and over and over about what they could do, what they want to do, how they thinking about it. Oh, they want everything lined up perfect, man. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, that's never gonna get accomplished sitting there thinking about stuff over and over and over. You know, you got theoretical knowledge, and then you have execution. The knowledge of, let's say, falling and getting up. We all had that when we were kids, remember? When you were a baby, you weren't over here thinking about your first step, how you're going to eventually learn how to walk. Oh, when I walk, I picture myself standing like this, walking like that, never falling. Man, you was falling your ass off. You were cutting your knees up, crying, this and that. But there was something in you that just kept doing it, and now here you are walking. You don't even think about it. It's second nature. Same thing with riding a bike or anything else that you did as a kid, as you hit adolescence, and then now when you hit adult age, there's like all these things that'll hold you back from actually executing on your own plan. But what I'm trying to tell you on this video, I know I'm all over the place, but real talk, I'm saying it to you just like I'm saying it to my own fucking self. You are the architect. You are the author of your own book. You determine how long the chapter is. You are the screenwriter. You are the main actor. You are the director of your own fucking film. So let's get to it. You know what I mean? Life is for the living. Don't forget that momentum builds. I even made the video back then called Action Builds Velocity. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, just like I'm telling my own self, you know, you are the architect. Don't forget that. Anything that you want to accomplish, there's a point where you have to learn how to do it. Of course, I get that. But let's not forget about the age that we're in. We are in the information age, where literally all the stuff that might have been just reserved for the ultra elite or for people who are highly, highly intelligent, it's all literally at the touch of a button. You can get information, whether it be from your smartphone, a tablet, computer. You got the internet, you got YouTube, you got so many things where you could just actually pick apart whatever it is that you're trying to do. But past a certain point of getting all this, let's say, knowledge in theory, sitting there figuring it out, writing up notepads full of information, you have to execute. You have to execute. Make a plan, a flexible plan, improvise as you go. And just like when you were learning how to ride a bike, and when you started figuring it out and you fell, there's no one who could have taught you that. You couldn't have sat down watching videos of somebody doing that and then figured. Now I get it. There's the adult learning model. You have some people who learn by doing, some people who learn by hearing, some people who learn by videos or pictures, demonstrations. I get it. But what I'm saying is, by and large, you learn how to ride a bike by getting on a bike and trying and feeling yourself off balance, falling, and figuring out, oh, this is how I maintain equilibrium. You figure out driving a car by getting into the fucking car. In my case, when I learned how to drive stick, throwing it in first. Okay. I didn't give enough release of the clutch and gas at the same time. You felt that pang when you were over here. Oh shit, that pang of fear when you looked at the cars behind you. You on an incline and you in first gear trying to figure out how to roll up as the next car is waiting to turn right. You on a hill, so you can't be taught that through conversation. You have to go through it. You have to feel the fear. You have to maybe even bump the car behind you to realize, oh shit, I didn't give enough gas, or oh shit, I didn't let off on my clutch enough. Whatever it is. So that's where we are with it, you know? We all live in lives. I feel a lot of us have quiet desperation. But there's no one that's coming to save us. It's all on you. You know why? Because you are the architect. So with that being said, you know what I mean? I want y'all to like, comment, subscribe. And I'm going to holler at you on the next one.